Okay, just talk about a few issues. The porch is done, but well, there are a few things that have to be finalized or decided upon. I just wanted to show you this is how I was going to put the structure together. We're columns, 3 columns down here, and these are 2x12s that come through here, and then the roof columns sit on top of that, and there's Simpson attachment here, Simpson attachment there. Up here, I think you should just run LVLs because you could get them all in one length, and you don't have to worry about splicing. Down here, I'm using a thicker, I'm using a 4x6 to help that splice condition down here. But up here, I would just get two. If you can get to 7 1/4, that's enough to do the load across here with 3 columns. And then you can put the lattice on. This is showing the green columns, or whatever color that is. You can have them in white. I'm not sure. This column back in this corner isn't really needed, but if it's taken out, you'll have to do something with something to support these this section here, this wall section here. I used a 412 pitch so that you could put shingles on it without a big headache. This clearance, the deck is set level with the house. The columns are 88 inches high, so that's your clearance under the beam, 88, 7'4". Oh, I know. There's always an issue with spouting. Maybe it could go over here. This doesn't look that terrific, so maybe it's something like that, and it ties into the same tile that this is tied into. In any case, this is what I'm showing right now. You were showing railings on that preliminary thing. They're not required by code. I wasn't sure whether it was something the Wilts were specifying or not. But if we want railings, let me know so that I can show them. But I guess we're going to look at something else first. Here's how I did this. I just didn't use a flat ceiling. I just used a straight shed roof. The ledger bolted through that brick to the framing beyond it, and then I would use plywood to tie that together so you don't have any pull away. Here's this corner column I was talking about. You can take that out, but you'll have to bolt these some sort of members down through here to carry this little. It's not carrying anything, but this. But you'll have to bolt through the brick and into the framing if you want to do this without the corner column back there. At this end, this is, I didn't care for this here. This is a piece I didn't care for. You're going to be pulling some of that siding off to get your counter flashing on. So maybe you just do something like that. Fill that back in even at either end. But as you can see, this is a fairly straightforward solution to address what we're looking for, hopefully what the Wilts are looking for. We don't have to mess with this unless it's a requirement or a specification going in. We don't have to mess with this elliptical top window. It can stay with its surround trim, and most of this you'll be able to see these from the street. I think you can see in a film at the end. Generally from the street you'll be able to see all the way up here, even though this is sloping down. This ceiling is it's 10'9" back here and 10'6" or 7" out here. 7'4" from the bottom of the beam to the floor, so it's probably really close to 8'4" out here. These are just 2x6s with a ledger up here and 2x6 at 16 inches on center coming through there. Possibly we have to have some linear venting here or there. This ceiling is shown as like a painted cedar or painted plywood or something like that. That could be some sort of beaded material, or it could be an exterior drywall that's finished or stuccoed. I don't know what you have allowed for that, or what the plan was under there. Maybe it is painted lighter. It's right now I'm showing it the color of the house trim Maybe that's painted white or something to lift it even further. In any case, it's my advice that you don't take this window out. You've got work inside to do with that, and outside, preliminarily, I haven't found a good result from making that. And I really want to wait. If that window must go and you want a flat ceiling in here, then I'll see what I can do with this. But for now, I haven't really spent a lot of time seeing what we can do to close it off. And we'll talk about that a little further after I discuss something else. To return to the sidewalk, having you've put the spouting in as I'm showing it here, and leaving that column out of the corner with some sort of an attachment back at that wall. So we have the sidewalk, and the red is the, I don't know, I didn't take dimensions, but this is a rough idea based on overhead shots and overlays, etc. These stairs are shown as basically 42 wide, and I was thinking the sidewalk's 42, but it's probably only 36. In any case, this is just kind of, a feel for what might have to be done. The blue is, you would have to cut this existing sidewalk back to somewhere where this blue begins, and then lay this new piece. This is about a third of the yard of concrete for what that's worth. Comes up to the stairs, 42 wide. And you have, that's the 42 wide stairs and the sidewalk leading up to them. If this sidewalk's only 36 here, I wouldn't make these stairs any skinnier than 42. They already look a little bit undersized for the scale of these openings and this grand entry, etc. So if this is 36, I would kind of widen this out to where it meets 42 coming in here. Again, you have to do something with the wall. Next, I wanted to see, because as long as you're laying that kind of concrete, maybe it's better to widen the stairs out, particularly if we're not going to have railings to occupy some of that space. So here I'm showing the stairs widened out to around 5 feet wide, and it requires a little bit more concrete, but not anything substantially more. And this, to me, this is a much nicer look. Everything much more in scale, particularly if we're not going to put railings. But with or without them, this wall would come over here or something like that. But I think this is a really, really nice look. Everything's kind of in scale coming in here. If you were, the reason I'm not showing railings is the house, it's really not asking for it. They're not required by code. With these windows coming all the way down near the floor, the railings in front of them, I think it's going to be a bit much, but that's up to you and the owners or whatever. Okay, so, from the street, you can even see it. The elliptical top is still there. You haven't disturbed it. The ceiling goes up under it. I'll show you a film of that in a minute. But if we were, for whatever reason, dedicated to lowering that ceiling in there, this is showing it lowered. It's about as low as it can go, and maintain a decent height under this beam, etc. Not that it can't come down lower. I mean, technically these could come down another 4 inches. Again, I'm not sure what's being gained by all this. We had talked about bringing the ceiling down near these keystones. That begins to really depress this in here, particularly with the floor of the thing up near the inside floor level, near 0. So, but I bring it down some, and then, I don't know what you do with that window. Perhaps something like that, maybe something a little more fancy. You'll have to let me know. I think that you should just make that a sloped ceiling in there, but that's up to you. And I'll show you a quick little spin of before and after then.